They thought she was gone. The river had swallowed her whole rifle, lost, breath crushed, body dragged under by the cold. "We're done," the SEALs whispered into their mics, voices tight with grief. Then the water moved. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening. Lieutenant Mara Hayes had trained her entire life to be invisible, to slow her heartbeat until it felt like the world itself had paused. But nothing in training prepared her for the river, black, fast, and merciless. As she was pulled under, her lungs burned and her thoughts fractured. She pictured her father's hands teaching her how to steady a rifle. She pictured the team behind her, counting on her overwatch. And in that chaos, a single thought anchored her. Not like this. She let the current take her, let it drag her downstream, while above, the ambush unfolded in gunfire and shouted commands. The enemy had waited for them at the bend, using the river as a funnel, the trees as teeth. Mara surfaced yards away, hidden by reeds and shadow, lungs screaming as she gulped air in silence. Her hands shook not from fear, but from cold, from anger, from the knowledge that her team believed she was dead. She crawled onto the bank, mud slick against her palms, and listened. The night vibrated with distant shots and the metallic clink of gear. Through gaps in the trees, she saw them, her team pinned, movements slowing, options shrinking. A medic dragged a wounded operator behind a fallen log. Another SEAL fired blind, conserving rounds. They were running out of time. Mara found her rifle lodged between rocks, the sling torn but the weapon intact. She wiped water from the scope with the hem of her sleeve, breath shallow, mind narrowing. This was the moral edge she lived on, the line between survival and sacrifice. She could slip away, regroup, live, or she could rise, reveal herself, and draw every eye. She chose the harder truth. She rose from the river like a ghost pulled from a grave, water streaming from her sleeves, boots sinking into silt. The first shot cracked the night open, clean, final. The second followed before the echo died. Targets dropped, confusion rippling through the enemy line like a struck nerve. Murmurs turned to shouts, shouts to panic. Her team froze, disbelief cutting through the chaos. That can't be, someone breathed. Then recognition hit, and with it, hope. They moved as one again, like a tide turning, coordinated, precise. The riverbank became a choreography of survival. Signals flashed, routes shifted, pressure applied where it would break the ambush apart. Mara fired until her fingers numbed, until the shaking stopped. Each breath fogged the air. Each shot was a promise kept. When the last threat fell silent, there was a moment, thick, fragile, where no one spoke. Then a hand clapped her shoulder, hard, real. She hadn't realized. She was crying until the tears mixed with river water on her face. Later, as dawn crept in and the river softened to silver, the team gathered. No cheers, no speeches, just a shared stillness, broken by quiet laughter that trembled at the edges. Someone offered her a thermos. Another wrapped a blanket around her shoulders. Kindness, simple and fierce. Mara looked back at the bend where they'd whispered goodbye to her, the place where she'd nearly believed it herself, because courage doesn't announce itself. It rises when it's told to disappear, and like the river that tried to claim her, the night carried away the fear, leaving behind the truth that survival is sometimes an act of defiance. If this story stayed with you, share your thoughts below. Subscribe for more human stories of courage and quiet strength, because the moments that save us are often the ones we almost miss.